to the Mission Dorothy podcast with your hostess, Tamikis Williams. Hey, this is Tamikis. Thank you so much for joining me here at the Mission Dorothy podcast. So, what I'm going to do for you guys is I would like to talk about wellness and bring you a wealth of information you can use in order to get your wellness in order. Wellness encompasses almost really every aspect of your life. Most of the time when we hear the term wellness, we just think about the body and just feeling well. But wellness shows up in your finances. It shows up in your social life. It shows up in your environment as well and other areas. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to embark on a 8-series journey where I am going to discuss 8 dimensions of wellness, and I am going to do one episode per dimension. So today's dimension focus will be physical wellness, but I do want to share with you guys the 8 actual dimensions of wellness. So when we take a look at the 8 dimensions, they are physical wellness, emotional wellness, social wellness, intellectual wellness, environmental wellness, spiritual wellness, vocational or occupational wellness, financial wellness. Those are the 8 dimensions of wellness. And so when your 8 dimensions are pretty balanced, this lets you know that your life is pretty balanced. So it will be a great activity for you to start incorporating in your life, maybe every 6 months. Just kind of check in with each dimension to see where are you, and that way you can stay ahead of having a low quality of wellness, right? So if you checking in with yourself every 6 months, this will help you to stay on top of your wellness, right? You'll be able to see what's going good. You'll be able to see what's not working so well, what you need to do more of, less of. And it'll just help you have a higher quality of life and well-being. Okay? So the 8 dimensions of wellness was created by SAMHSA. And so SAMHSA is hold on, y'all, because it's the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. So SAMHSA is just the acronym for that. And so they came up with this wellness initiative in an effort to help people learn how to have that higher quality of life. And I absolutely love the 8 dimensions of wellness. This is something that I am incorporating into my therapy with my clients more, which is why I decided to do the podcast episodes on wellness so that you guys can start to look at your own wellness and make this a staple in your self-care routine. Okay? So remember, self-care is more than mani and pedis, but self-care is making sure that you're taking care of your physical and emotional self. And this will will help you out a lot. So today I am going to pull from Northwestern University. They have a fantastic write-up for the students. I thought this was really good because this is part of student affairs, and they share this information with the students. And I think that this is really great so that the students can stay on top of their wellness while they go through the college experience. So I am pulling from there when it comes to kind of breaking down each dimension. So I just want to give credit where credit is due. Okay. So today we're going to focus on physical wellness. When we think about physical wellness consists of recognizing the need for physical activity, healthy foods and sleep, as well as preventing illness and injury or managing chronic health conditions. So when we think about physical wellness, it encompasses a lot, right? We're talking about physical activity. We're talking about eating healthy. We're talking about getting good sleep. We're talking about preventing illness and injury. And we're also talking about managing those chronic health conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, lupus, MS, those major health issues that a lot of people deal with, right? And so let's take a look at the goals for your physical wellness. So these are the goals that you need to start looking at when it comes to your physical wellness. So please get some paper and get a pen and pencil out. And I want you to really take notes, because I really want you to implement this in your life moving forward, right? Higher quality of life. And especially if you're a parent, I really want you to think about how you want to be as healthy as possible, because you don't want your family to have to stop their life to take care of you, right? You don't want your kids to have to stop their life to take care of you. And this is something that I've been thinking about lately. I'm turning 50. My daughter is turning 25. And I definitely want her to be able to live her life. And I don't want her to have to stop her life to take care of me at an early, in my 50s. Like, no, I want to show up at 50 and being as healthy as I can. You know what I'm saying? And so this is something that I've been working on for a while, but just have not been consistent, So now I'm really working on my physical wellness. I started intermittent fasting last week. I've lost almost 5 pounds, which I am totally shocked about in 1 week. And so I'm happy about them 5 pounds, honey. I'm happy about that. So, it made me feel good about my efforts. You know what I'm saying? And intermittent fasting, I definitely suggest that you do some real research when it comes to intermittent fasting, and not just anybody's input, but, go and look up some doctors. Like I follow Dr. Berg, Berg on YouTube, and Dr. Fung, Fung on YouTube. And they really give you some great insight when it comes to fasting. But I also, let me see if I can find this lady, because I also find I've been listening to this lady on YouTube, and she talks about fasting and menopause. And so, being that I am going through peri, I have been, just kind of like watching her videos. But her channel is Dr. Mindy Pelz. So it's Dr. Mindy, and then her last name is Pelz. And she just, she really focuses in on fasting, women in fasting, but she also talks about like women in menopause, or perimenopause, and fasting as well. So I definitely suggest that you really do your research when it comes to that, especially if you have some health conditions where you may be taking like high blood pressure medications or own medications and fasting. Like really think about that, as well as if you have issues with anemia, because fasting can change your menstrual cycle. And, you just want to make sure that fasting is for you and your health issues. So, let's make sure that as we go about this journey of wellness, I want you guys to really make sure that you're educating yourself with proper knowledge and not just watching anybody who fasted before. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get that information from actual physicians who can honestly help us understand fasting and how to go about it in a healthy way. Okay. So with my intermittent fasting, I am doing a little bit like some 16-8, but I'm mostly doing maybe 18 to 19 hours of fasting a day. So, my eating window is between 6 to 8 hours long. And when you think about intermittent fasting, the bulk of your fasting is while you're asleep. You know what I'm saying? So my eating window is between 2 and 8, or sometimes 1 and 8. So in between that time, I'm being mindful of what I eat. But the good part about it is that you can eat, just don't overindulge. So being that this weekend was Mother's Day, we also celebrated my daughter's birthday, and my daughter planned a picnic for me at the park, which I thought was, oh my God, absolutely so sweet. Like, it was so great. It was so great. But she also purchased all of my favorites from when I wasn't really paying attention to what I eat. So you can just imagine. I mean, she had all my favorites, from my favorite drinks to cookies to donuts to chocolate to wings, all the bad food. You know what I'm saying? But you can still have those things. You just have to eat it in moderation, and that's what I did. Right? I had a good time, and I ate in moderation. Right? So yeah. So intermittent fasting, go educate yourself and check it out. It's the only method that has worked for me in helping me lose weight and keep it off. Like, it's becoming a lifestyle, because I used to be a breakfast person, but with intermittent fasting, I don't eat breakfast. I might have some tea, and that works. That's enough for me. You know what I'm saying? So it has a lot of the intermittent. This is my last little piece about this piece, but the intermittent fasting is not for me about just the weight loss. The weight loss is a benefit, but for me, it's mostly for the physical healing that fasting does for the body. Being that I lost my mom in November of 2021, I have not been as kind to my body. And I am trying to make sure that I do so moving forward, but also, just nurture my body, being that I've been going through the grief and the depression, and, just been kind of like using the wrong type of coping mechanisms, food and such, to deal with the grief. And so I'm just really working to be more healthier, be more active, be more mobile now. So let's look at the goals for your physical wellness. And so the first goal is to understand how and why your body works. I want to share a good resource for you to use. It is a podcast episode on YouTube, and it's made by a neuroscientist, and his name is Andrew Huberman. You can look him up. That last name is Huberman. As I stated, he's a neuroscientist, and he really gives you a lot of good information on how to optimize your wellness, your health, your brain health, body health, to the max. Like, he is giving us free information that our primary care and the medical specialists should be giving us at our appointments, but are not. You know what I'm saying? And so his channel is like mind blowing. I mean, I'm a clinician, and he still blows my mind about the power of the brain and how the brain works. And I really want you guys to understand the power of the brain, but I also want you to understand how your body actually works, how hard it works for you. Okay, so please do the research go check out that channel. I'm not affiliated in any form or fashion. I just believe that he provides great educational content that we really need to be listening to, instead of all this bull I hear. You know what I'm saying? So go check out his episode, because he really shares a lot of tips that you can implement in your life, like today. Like, I was doing one of his exercises when it comes to like when you're sedentary, and it's like these it's like a calf raise, and the calf of your leg. And, he just talked about the benefits of that when it comes to your physical body. And I mean, y'all, it's amazing. Please go and check him out. He talks about the physiological side, which you can utilize that when you have panic attacks. Please go and check out his channel, y'all. It is a wealth of knowledge. Like, I feel like he should be charging us for this stuff, but it's free. So it's important to understand how and why your body works the way that it does so that you can make sure that you are optimizing your physical health. A lot of times we're doing exercises and spending 2 hours in the gym, and then you really don't need 2 hours in the gym. You really don't need to work out for 2 hours. You could get that the same benefits in a good 30-minute workout. You know what I'm saying? And a good 1 hour workout, And so as they continue to do the research when it comes to working out, that, literally they're saying it really don't take a whole hour either. 30 minutes, at least 3 times a week minimum is really good when it comes to like the basics of heart health and joint health and those types of things. So understanding how and why your body works is important. Also understanding that your body also works to hold your emotions. Your body works really, really hard to hold your emotions, whether it is a positive or a negative emotion. It don't just work on the negative. It works on the positive too. It has to work to hold happiness, joy, excitement. You know what I'm saying? So your body works very hard for you. I mean, from the hair follicle to your toenail, it works really hard for you. So take some time out to thank your body. One of the exercises I really love is just that it's like a self-love exercise you can do for your body. And really it's just about thanking your body, right? Just thanking those different parts of your body. For example, let's thank our hands. Thank you, hands, for helping me to be able to cook dinner to feed my family in order for me to wash my body to stay clean. Thank you, hands, for the ability to type, my notes or to type the words in my workbooks. Thank you, hands, for helping me to cleanse my face and to help hold my toothbrush as I cleanse my teeth. Like, thank you, hands, for allowing me to hold the hand of my mom when she was in the hospital. Thank you, hands, for allowing me to be able to soothe her by rubbing her head. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I think about all the beauty and the blessings that my hands have, thank you, hands, for when I had to put hands on somebody. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, y'all. No, I'm not out here putting hands on people. But, it's when I think about the work that my hands do and have done, the beauty, that my hands have created with my skincare, the soaps that I make, the beauty that my hands create when I curl my hair, when I braided my daughter's hair, when I hug my sister, when I call my nephew. Like, my hands are essential. You know what I'm saying? This is an essential part of my body. And I just, I want to thank my hands because a lot of things can happen to your hands, and that can literally stop your life in so many ways. And so take time out to say thank you, hands, and name the reasons why. Thank you, feet. Thank you, eyes. Thank you, lips. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, legs. Thank you, back, for holding up this whole body. Thank you, back, for holding up this core. Thank you, back, for staying stable when I carried my child. Thank you, stomach, for holding life. Thank you, ovaries. Girl, okay, like, that's a whole situation. I'm gonna have to do a meditation for that. Do a meditation for you guys when it comes to thanking your body, because it's essential. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So understanding how and why your body works is our first goal. Our next goal is feel comfortable with your physical appearance so that, if you have issues when it comes to dental, your skin, hair, weight, for people who may have scoliosis, like think about ways that you can learn to feel comfortable with what's going on with you, right? Feel comfortable with your physical appearance, right? So when we think about that, and I mentioned scoliosis because, sometimes it can have you kind of hunched over. So, we really need to sit and think about those areas where we're not too comfortable when it comes to our physical appearance. If you have acne, go see a dermatologist. If you have dental issues, go to the dentist. If you're having issues with your back, talk with your primary care so you can be sent to a specialist, right? If you're having issues with your feet, go and see a podiatrist. You know what I'm saying? Like, work on the things. Don't just sit and complain for years. Don't just sit and not want to look in the mirror for years. Don't just sit and not face the situation. Like, go ahead and deal with it, because the better we look, the better we feel. And I'm not talking about that doesn't involve anybody else. That's just between you and your body, right? When we look good, we feel good, right? When our skin is clear, we feel good. You know what I'm saying? So feel comfortable with your physical appearance. Do the work. If you want to lose weight, do the work, right? Go sit with a dietitian. Go sit with your primary care. Go and sit with a nutritionist. You know what I'm saying? Go and educate yourself about the healthy way to lose weight. Like I talked about the intermittent fasting, the keto diet. Like, go and work on the physical appearance so that you can feel good about yourself, right? A lot of us, we have issues when it comes to our stretch marks from our children. Child, let me tell you, let me break this down for you. So I used to have issues with that. Like, I do have stretch marks. Yes, I'm telling the whole world, not that the whole world listens to my podcast, but hey, one day they might, you know what I'm saying? But I don't care, because I'm no longer self-conscious about my stretch marks. And the reason why I stopped being self-conscious about my stretch marks is because I realized the story behind my stretch marks, right? My stretch marks is a badge of honor, because my stretch marks came from creating life and carrying life in my body, in my stomach. You know what I'm saying? So when I see my stretch marks, I no longer see them as embarrassing or unattractive. I see my stretch marks as a badge of honor to be able to carry life and to be able to have my daughter, to carry my daughter, to feed and supply the nutrients that my daughter needed in order to survive and develop. You know what I'm saying? During my pregnancy. So now when I look at my stomach, it's a badge of honor. And if anybody have any issues with it, then you know what I'm saying? You don't deserve what's below that stomach, baby. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna lie. Now, when I had these issues with my child's father after I had the baby, because my stomach was like flat. You know what I'm saying? Like, my body was beautiful. Everything was in place, honey. So once I had my baby, I gained 75 pounds, and I didn't get stretch marks until like 8.5 months. Y'all, I was putting extra virgin olive oil on that stomach every day. Okay. Still got them stretch marks. Right. I woke up one day, I had 3 small stretch marks. Y'all would have thought my life ended. Like, I was so distraught. Like, I was crying. I was just so mad. Because I was like, oh, I done went my whole pregnancy with no stretch marks. And here we are at the end. Surprise. And then it was like stretch marks was coming every day. So I just felt a certain kind of way after I had my baby and I had those stretch marks. But he didn't care. And then, once you in relationships with the child's father and you step out there and you start dating someone else, being in a relationship with someone else, it's hard, you know what I'm saying, to share or to allow them to see the stretch marks because you're feeling self-conscious. But now that I rewrote my story when it comes to the stretch marks, I'm comfortable with them. Like, hey, you know, it's an honor to be able to carry life. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, all women are not able to. And my heart and my prayers definitely go out to them, because I see the struggle of a lot of women wanting to have babies and may not be able to. And so definitely my heart goes out to them. But when I thought about just my pregnancy experience and how I ended up having, I can't remember is it preeclampsia? It's something where your fetal bag, the sac, starts to like fall, right? And so instead of it sitting at the top of your stomach, it starts to kind of work its way down. And so if the sac covers your vaginal opening, then you and your child can bleed to death. And that's something that I went through through my pregnancy. But thank God my sac did not fall all the way to the bottom, right? And so I thank God for that. So when I think about all that I went through when it comes to the pregnancy, it was an honor. It's an honor. And I don't take it lightly, because like I said, everybody is not able to have a baby. And so I really don't take it lightly. You know what I'm saying? Because that can happen to anyone. You know what I'm saying? And so in rewriting my story, I had to see the blessing and the privilege, to be able to have had my daughter, and she's worth every stretch mark on my body. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would not trade her for a perfect body or the body I had prior to pregnancy. Like, I love my mini me, and she is like everything for me. So I thank God for her, and she was worth every stretch mark that is on my stomach and in other areas. Okay. So think about how you got yours. You know what I'm saying? Think about if you have stretch marks from pregnancy, rewrite that horrible story. If you have stretch marks from gaining weight, rewrite that horrible story, right? Like, rewrite it, because the more I carried that negativity related to the stretch marks, the worse it made me feel. But when I rewrote the story, it made me feel empowered. It made me feel comfortable and accepting of them. It made me be highly appreciative of how I got them as well. Okay? So feel comfortable with your physical appearance. Work on the things that you can work on, and work to accept the things that you may not be able to change. Okay? Our next goal is make informed choices about your body and sexuality. So that kind of go hand in hand with our first two goals, right? When it comes to understanding how your body works, as well as your physical appearance, taking care of your body. So make informed choices about your body. So with this, make informed choices about your body. So if we think about the whole plastic surgery phenomenon that's going on, and you have a lot of people out here rearranging and remaking, their body basically. And, to each his own. But make sure that you're making an informed choice. Those are the two key words. Make informed, right? Like, informed choice. And to me, an informed choice is making sure that this is something that you need to do. You know what I'm saying? First. But a lot of people are getting this because it's what they want to do. And the difference here is, need is when you are making changes to your body because like, I need back surgery because, I've been having back issues and it's stunting my quality of life and I can't work and, that type of thing. Or I need to have foot surgery because it's impeding on how I walk. I can't wear most shoes. Like, those surgeries can be essential. But when we talk about vanity surgeries, that is where you have to really make an informed decision, right? An informed choice. Now, if you want to go get the BBLs and the breast implants and the what you call it, when you get your stomach done, I can't even think of the name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But when you get that done, any of those vanity surgeries, just be informed, right? Educate yourself on the doctor, read the reviews, check the medical boards, to make sure that this doctor does not have any complaints. Like, understand that the cheaper it is, the higher the risk is, right? Read the reviews on the clinic that you're going to. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people go out the country because it's cheaper. But guess what? A lot of people go out the country and they don't make it back, right? Because they died on the table, or they died the day after, or they might make it back home and end up dying shortly because of an infection. Or, like, man, you would not believe some of the stories. I know y'all heard them. You know what I'm saying? People being injected with cement, what is that stuff called? Window caulking. It's just like insane out here. So please make an informed choice, right? It's, when you get the surgeries like the stomach, the lap band, be careful with this stuff, y'all, because people don't always make it off the table. You know what I'm saying? And so just make sure that you are highly educated. You've done your thorough research, and you making sure that you're making the most sound, educated choice for you and your body. Okay? At the end of the day, do you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just not willing to go under the knife if it's not necessary. You know what I'm saying? I will go the natural route first. I try to lose the weight on my own. And if I know that I'm not being consistent about it, then I can't say, well, I tried and that didn't work. Like, no. Just like now everybody got this Ozempic situation. We got this Ozempic shortage going on because you got so many people getting Ozempic for vanity reasons. And for the people who have actual like diabetes, high blood pressures, have some kind of comorbidity and weight gain, they can't even get the medication. Like, this is ridiculous. People who need the medication can't get it, but people who want it just to lose weight is stopping them from getting it. And this can literally cause death. And that's what people need to understand. Informed choice. Are you willing to take this medication out of the hands of people who need it to live? You know what I'm saying? Like, informed choice, right? So that's not something that I would be willing to do. And so, we need to really be mindful about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not willing to cause anybody to lose their life or have any kind of medical complications because I'm too lazy really to go and exercise or be mindful of what I eat or push back a little bit from the table to lose that weight. Like, I'm just not willing to do that. You know what I'm saying? To each his own again, but I'm just speaking for me. I'm not speaking for anybody else. I'm just speaking for me. Okay? So I just believe that medication is for those who have those comorbidity diseases and, need it for their health and to live. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just not willing to take that chance there. So make informed choices. So it also said make informed choices about your body and sexuality. So if you are in the closet, if you are on the DL, if you are not sure about your sexuality, take some time to really figure that out, because you don't want to live a life for somebody else. You want to live your life the way you want to live your life, right? The way you live your life is between you and your higher power. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, your life is not your mother's, your dad's, your siblings, your friends. Like that, it's not their life, it's yours. So don't live your life trying to please everybody else. Work to please yourself. You know what I'm saying? Be true to yourself. Be true to others. So if you on the DL, if you are, like, be honest with people about your sexuality, your sexual preference. Just be honest with people. We get further with honesty than deceit. You know what I'm saying? People lose their life with deceit. So definitely make an informed choice when it comes to your sexuality. You know what I'm saying? Live to be your authentic self, not a carbon copy of somebody else, right? Not a version of what you feel like your parents want you to do. You know what I'm saying? Live your life. Our next goal is feel competent at physical activities. So we've kind of, talked about this earlier about your body and those types of things, but feel competent at physical activities. So this is just you getting out, being active, whether you're a runner, skater, you ride bikes, you work out, just feel confident about your physical activities. Do what you can. Don't try to push yourself to where you end up hurting yourself. Be competent in where you are, and the more you work on it, the better you will get. Okay? So feel competent at physical activities. All right? Our next goal is develop well-balanced and healthy eating habits. So, we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but decide what you want, right? Me, I would like to be healthier when it comes to my organs, when it comes to like my inners, right? My inner body. And I want to also be healthy with my outer. And so with that being said, it develop well-balanced and healthy eating habits. I don't believe in eating like a rabbit. I don't believe in like denying myself of my food pleasures, but I will cut back, cut down, not eat it so often. You know what I'm saying? Once I am satisfied, I will put the food up. I don't have to eat until I feel full anymore. I used to do that. I used to emotional eat. I used to eat until I felt that full feeling. But now I look at food as fuel, not as a emotional crutch, not as a support system, not as something to do when I'm bored, right? I utilize food as fuel. And so that is what I'm working to get back to. And so you want to develop a healthy, well-balanced relationship with food, so that you're not binging, so that, you don't have any kind of like eating disorders. But having a healthy relationship with food is key. I still eat some of the things that I love, but I just eat it in moderation. You know what I'm saying? If I go and get me a 12-piece wing, I don't have to eat all 12 pieces. More than likely, I probably eat 6 and some fries and put the rest up for the next day. You know what I'm saying? So I still like to eat the little things that I love. I used to be a honey bun girl. I will eat them honey buns, honey. I will pop it in the microwave and look, okay, it was delicious. So I'll eat my honey buns periodically. Now it's so crazy, I can't even take the sweetness of the glaze. So I will heat it up and then try to wipe some of the glaze off. Because it's too sweet for me. So, so your taste buds will change as you change your relationship with food. So definitely make sure that you have a well-balanced relationship when it comes to food, having some healthy eating habits. Another thing I try to look at too is the 80-20 rule. If I eat 80% healthy through the week, then I have 20% on the weekend to kind of like splurge a little bit. And I meaning eat some of the things that I love, but not like overeating. You know what I'm saying? So still monitoring, but still able to enjoy. Okay? All right. So our next goal is become a responsible drinker or a non-drinker. So this is key, y'all. We all know that there are some issues out there when it comes to alcoholism. A lot of times people will utilize alcohol in order to cope. People will utilize alcohol to have fun. People will utilize alcohol as a coping mechanism when they have social anxiety as well. So we want to make sure that we're responsible drinkers, right? Number one, we want to make sure we're not drinking and driving. Number two, we want to make sure that we're not over drinking to the point to where we're causing damage to our liver. You know what I'm saying? Number four, we want to make sure that we are utilizing alcohol responsibly. So that may be social drinking, or you might have a little cocktail on the weekend sometimes at home, but just making sure that you're not overdoing it, right? We want to also make sure that we have responsible behaviors while drinking. So we're not out here acting stupid and foolish while drunk, doing crazy things that can hurt you or somebody else in the moment as well as later. Okay, so some people grow some big balls when they drink, and the thing is, they're not often able to stand behind those balls. You know what I'm saying? So people get real courageous when they drink, but then when they're presented with static, they can't even defend themselves because they're intoxicated. So please make sure that you have a healthy relationship with drinking. For men, oh God, what is the, I can't even think of them right offhand. I know for women, when it comes to binge drinking, it's like, I think it's like 4 to 6 alcoholic drinks in one setting. That's binge drinking for women. And for men, it might be 4 drinks for men. Hold on, y'all, because I was trying to see if I could pull up the statistics here. Okay, so binge drinking is defined as consuming 5 or more drinks on an occasion for men, or 4 or more drinks on an occasion for women. So there we go. So for men, it is consuming 5 or more drinks in one setting. For women, it's 4 or more drinks in one setting. So if you go out to the club, to a wedding, to the bar, to your friend's house, and if you've had over 4 drinks for women or over 5 for men, that is considered binge drinking. Okay, so we definitely want, to be mindful of our consumption of alcohol and not have an unhealthy relationship with it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely take a look at that. A lot of people have minimized the use of wine. Wine gets you drunk just like anything, like liquor and beer and all the things. So definitely, if you drinking a bottle of wine, 3-4 times a week, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you got to drink a bottle of wine every 2 to 3 days, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So wine, you have the reality shows and all the female chick movies, and everybody is just carrying on like wine is water. You know what I'm saying? And especially when they came out with the saying that wine can be healthy, but people aren't drinking those types of wines. They are drinking the sweets with all the sugar and all of that in it. So you really have to be mindful, and especially if you're watching your weight, you really want to be mindful too with wine, because a lot of the wines have a lot of sugar in them, a lot. Okay, so really, really think about your alcohol consumption. So I just want to give you an example. So they say most rosé wines are very high in sugar content. So for example, a glass of sweet rosé contains between 95 to 125 calories and between 1.5 to 5.5 grams of carbs. Right? And so when we think about sugar, Lord Jesus, a glass of rosé could include a huge 21 to 72 grams of sugar. A glass, y'all. And let's keep it real. A lot of us have fell in love with these big wine glasses with the stems or the stemless glasses, and they're huge. You could pretty much pour a whole bottle of wine in that glass. So think about how much sugar is in the wine you drink. Do you know? If not, go and look it up. Okay? All right. So our next goal when it comes to physical wellness is become aware of how a lack of sleep, stress, and non-activity affect your body. Now, this is me, y'all. I'm going to keep it 100. So this is how I've been, since I lost my mom, just kind of going through the depression and grief. I have insomnia. I have not been able to sleep since my mom passed. The grief has been very stressful, and dealing with the stress on top of perimenopause, empty nest syndrome, and just generally aging. And so I have really, and going through depression due to the loss. And this has been me, lack of sleep, stress, and I have not been active. Up until a couple of weeks ago, I started walking. I've started doing workouts at home as well. And so I'm doing better. But for, since November 2021, I stopped it. I have not been taking care of myself, right? And so we have to really be aware of what the lack of sleep does. And trust me, honey, I am so aware of the lack of sleep and how it affects my life. You know what I'm saying? And so when we think about like sleep deficiency, it's often linked to a lot of health issues, which is another reason why I decided to fast. So when we look at sleep deficiency, we're looking at possible heart disease, kidney disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, obesity, depression. And when I think about those things, I've been thinking about those things for a while now. And honestly, I've really been scared, but I was also taking ashwagandha during this time. And, I say ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an adaptogen. And so what it does is help to protect your body from the stress. And so I've been taking the ashwagandha regularly in hopes that it has been protecting my body. But that's another reason why I decided to fast, because, with me not sleeping and I was sedentary and I was, emotional eating, I wasn't taking care of myself. That's what depression does. You know what I'm saying? And so I did my research on intermittent fasting, which I did intermittent fasting before, right before I lost my oldest sister. And I had lost like 20 pounds. And I went to the doctor, and then she told me I was pre-diabetic. And I'm just like, ma'am, I just kept saying, but I lost 20 pounds. And she was like, Tamikis, you don't have to keep saying that. I heard you the first time. Even though you lost 20 pounds, you pre-diabetic. But what I think really happened was fasting can change your glucose numbers. And so I think during the time when I went to get my physical, it was probably not balanced, right? And probably shortly after that, it became balanced, because I haven't had any issues since then. And that was back in 2016. So the sleep deficiency can definitely cause a lot of issues. It's also, linked to like higher injury because you're not your full coherent self. You know what I'm saying? So when we think about, the effects, we have brain functioning issues, we have memory loss, we have the weakened immune system, low fertility rates. And then you also have mental health issues as well. And so we want to really be mindful. So now I'm trying to retrain myself and my circadian rhythm when it comes to sleep to see if I can get back to a healthy sleep pattern. So when we think about physical wellness, we talk about being aware of what the lack of sleep can do. Also, stress can cause all of those things as well. The comorbidities of, issues when it comes to your organs, high blood pressure, diabetes. You have the cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And for us women, when we release cortisol, it sits around our gut. So we can diet, we can work out, we can do all the things. But if we're living a highly stressed life, that stomach is going to be there because you're constantly releasing that cortisol. So you definitely want to educate yourself about that, but also be mindful of your stress levels because it can impact our physical health, our emotional health, our relationships, our job. It can affect every area. So we want to really make sure that we work to get that stress down by utilizing our coping mechanisms, maybe getting into some therapy, looking into some meditation, and becoming a little more physical active. Okay. And then we also want to look at the lack of non-activity and how that affects the body as well. And so we all know, when we're not working out, you start to feel those aches and pains, some joint issues. It can cause health issues as well. And so we, definitely diabetes, if we're just eating and not taking care of our bodies, but it can cause a lot of health issues as well when we're non-active. So we definitely want to make sure that we are staying on top of our sleep, making sure that we are getting at least a good, 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. We want to make sure that we keep that stress level down by setting those boundaries, not overextending ourselves, giving from an empty vessel, not speaking up for our emotions, not being assertive. Like, come on, we can go on and on with the stress. Okay. Not being in an unhealthy relationship, so we got to make sure we get that stress down, but also, being more active. 30 minutes, 3 times a week is really good. There are videos on YouTube that show you how to do exercises when sitting in a chair. Honestly, they got exercises laying in the bed, honey. So there is no excuse when it comes to the physical activity. Okay. So that's definitely part of that physical wellness. Okay. All right. So our next one is become aware of how food, beverages, drugs, chemicals, additives, and caffeine affect your body. Now, this is a good one, too, because it forces you to kind of look at everything. When we talk about food, beverages, all the things we put in our bodies, drugs, we need to be mindful of that and the damage that it can cause when it comes to our body, especially when we think about chemicals, right? Because I want you to take stock. Here's an exercise for you. I want you to take stock and I want you to count how many chemicals you put on your body every day before you leave out the house to go to work. And when I say how many chemicals, this means that you need to look at your lipstick ingredients, your perfume ingredients, your hair care, your skin care, your cleaning. I want you to look at your soap. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many chemicals do you put on your body before you walk out the door? How many chemicals are flying around in your home? If we think about our dish detergent, our clothing detergent. Think about your cleaning products. Like, I've just switched over to Target has this little cute natural cleaning line where it's like vinegar, water, and some essential oils. It's just very few ingredients, but it's enough to kill germs. So I've switched over to that and trying to let go of all of the other chemical cleaners. Periodically, I'm going to still use a little Lysol cleaning spray in the bathroom and in the kitchen, but not every time I clean. You know what I'm saying? I might do a once a month just to make sure I'm grabbing everything, but really working to remove as many chemicals as I can. I try not to store my food, and I threw away all my plastic containers. I went and bought glass the containers. So when I have leftovers, I use glass instead of plastic. I don't utilize, and two, you know, a lot of people will heat up their food in plastic. Please understand, if you've ever seen where the plastic has kind of melted a little bit, I want you to really think about the fact that if it melted, where did the melted piece go? It went into your food. If you're using paper towels with dyes and you're popping in a honey bun or a Pop-Tart or a bagel or a croissant, and you popping it in the microwave on that dyed paper towel, where are the chemicals going? In your food, in your mouth, and into your body. So we have to really be mindful of the chemicals. When you drink that distilled water, what they call regular water, purified water. That's just faucet water, and it has chemicals that they use to clean it. So I try to drink spring water. You know what I'm saying? Just trying my best to remove as many chemicals as I possibly can. Recently, I took off the acrylic on my nails. I used to get the S&S powder, and I ain't gonna lie, y'all, like, it's been a week without it, and I really want to go get my nails done. But what I'm going to try to do is I am going to try to find some healthy fingernail polish. That's what I'm going to do. If I can find a healthy fingernail polish, a healthy clear, and find a healthy way to take that off of my fingers each time I do my nails, I'm going to go that route. I really need to do the research on the use of the acrylics and the acetones and all of that type of stuff, because you know, when you go to the shop and you dip your hand in that acetone so they can melt off the acrylic and they heat it up, I know that stuff don't supposed to be heated. Like the last time when I went and I stuck my hands in that and it was heated and my whole hand was gray. Like and in my head, I was like, oh my God, all this stuff is seeping through my pores. So we have to think about, when you put stuff on your skin absorbs it. So that's why it's important to be mindful of your lotions, your hair care products, all the things. Now I'm going to keep it 100. I do perm my sides and my back. I use PCJ in a jar. So I perm my sides and my back, but the top of my hair is natural. And so I still do that. I've been natural probably about 7 times, 100% natural. And this is just what I'm choosing right now until I can come up with something different. So I'm trying to take out as many chemicals as I can. It's going to be impossible to remove all of them, but the least the better. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of the food, right? The GMOs and all of that. Be mindful of your beverages, overindulging in alcohol. Be mindful of the drugs, popping pills, marijuana, and you don't know where that marijuana came from, or it may not be a trusted source. Be mindful of where you're getting your marijuana from. You know what I'm saying? For those who are not living in states where marijuana is legal. But even still, be mindful of the practices of those who have the marijuana shops in the states where it's legal, to make sure that they have ethical practices. Be mindful of the chemicals, and the effects on your body. Be mindful of the additives. If you look at all of the potato chips with seasoning on it, I'm sorry, not all. The majority of potato chips with seasoning on it, I don't want to name any brands because I don't want nobody coming after me. But if you look at most chips that have seasoning on it, right? The cheddar, the whatever, you will see that there is MSG in every one of those chips. MSG. Now, think about when you go to the Chinese restaurant and they may say, we have no MSG, or you might buy, just different seasonings and it may say we have no MSG. MSG is monosodium glutamate, and it's a flavor enhancer that makes the food flavor brighter. You know what I'm saying? And so you want to really be, Child, this is a lot. Like the FDA, okay, they approve some things that they should not approve. But they say that MSG is a healthy ingredient. Well, if it was really that healthy, why is it that there are states who outlaw it? Why is it that restaurants have stopped using it? You know what I'm saying? So I've been, well, you know what? I haven't bought this certain company chips in a while because I know all they chips have it. But I try to now search for chips without the MSG because my body does not do well with sodium. When I eat a lot of salty foods, it shows up with bags under my eyes and my feet and ankles may swell. And I'm pissed off about them bags under my eyes. So I'm really trying to find a way to really reduce my sodium intake. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to be really mindful when it comes to, additives, because most additives are not healthy for us. So really start checking the ingredient list on your products and food. When they list the ingredients, the first item that is listed is the item the food is mostly made of. So it descends. So the last item on the list is the food that is the least amount in this item. You get what I'm saying? So if you see ingredients and then it says water, well, that product is made mostly of water. If it says wheat, then that product is made mostly of wheat. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of times they will do these false claims of, this product has aloe and shea butter and this and that. But when you look at the ingredient list, shea butter is like second to the last ingredient. So how much, how is it that you can say that this product is, highlighting the shea butter when you barely have any in there that's going to make a difference? So y'all start reading your labels, please. And I mean the back, not the front, because the front is often deceiving. Read your labels. A lot of this shea butter out here is not real. Ain't no telling. You know what I'm saying? Real shea butter is not super yellow. Please understand. So when you go to the beauty supply store, leave it there. Go online. You can go to Wholesale Supplies Plus. You can go to, what is the name? Hold on. Let me see if I can find this for you guys, because this is where I purchased my shea butter when I was making my skincare products. And it was, let me see. And basically they get the shea butter from Ghana, and when you spend your money, it supports the women in Ghana who works in the co-op in order for you to get your shea butter. You know what I'm saying? So I cannot find let me see. Give me just a second, y'all, because I really do want to share this with you guys. What is the name of the... Baraka Shea Butter. BARAKASHEABUTTER.com. I'm not affiliated. I just used to get my raw shea butter from them. It's a fair trade company. And like I said, the money helps to benefit the African women who work in the co-op to, cleanse the butter and to bring it to us. You know what I'm saying? To put in our products or to use on our body. So make sure that you are definitely getting some fair trade, real shea butter. Now, with their shea butter, you do have to strain it. So you would do a double boiler method. And then before you pour it into anything, run it through a strainer so that you can catch any residue, because it is raw, authentic shea butter. Okay. All right. So we talked about being mindful and aware of how food, beverages, drugs, chemicals, additives can affect your body. We're going to talk about that caffeine. Child, now, I'll be honest. I like caffeine during the winter. And, just to have something good and hot to drink. And but that's mostly most of the time when I drink it. But now since I'm trying to live better, I will drink decaf coffee, and I try my best to anyways, I would mix decaf and regular together because I didn't want to be wired on coffee, but I'm moving toward decaf coffee. Okay. So when we think about caffeine is a stimulant. You know what I'm saying? And so what stimulants does, like it's a drug, it increases activity in your brain and in your nervous system. So that's why sometimes you can see people with the jitters because they having withdrawal because they had them 4-5 cups of coffee in the morning and then they crash, right? So caffeine, it can increase that circulation of chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline in the body. You know what I'm saying? And granted, it can make you feel refreshed and focused, but you just don't want to overdo it when it comes to coffee. You know what I'm saying? Like you really don't. And then, coffee, it will connect to the restlessness, that shaky, that insomnia and headaches and dizziness and fast heart rate and dehydration and anxiety. And then people can become dependent on the caffeine as well. So we definitely want to be mindful about our consumption when it comes to caffeine, especially with this influx of certain coffee houses. And we want to be mindful because everything is so delicious, but you don't want to, think about how much sugar is in a lot of this stuff, y'all. Like sugar is the enemy. It's good in moderation, but man, sometimes we don't even understand how much sugar we are consuming. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to really start educating yourself about the beverages, the drugs, the chemicals, the additives, the caffeine, all this stuff that is in our food and going right into our body. Okay? All right. So our next goal, we have 3 more. Our next one is engage in regular movement to improve flexibility, strength, aerobic, and cardiovascular health. So we've kind of talked about this, the importance of moving. It's not just about weight loss. It's about heart health. It's about, joint health. You know what I'm saying? And so being mindful, giving yourself grace when it comes to moving. I know my knees are not the best. I played basketball for a long time. So therefore, I could feel that little joint pain. So I try to do exercises that are have minimal impact when it comes to my joints. I'm also taking glucosamine, and that helps when it comes to joint health as well. Do your research. I'm not a doctor, okay? But do your research when it comes to any extract or herb that I may mention in this podcast. Do your own research. I can only speak for self, okay? All right. So just, let's get to moving. Even if it's 30 minutes 3 times a week, let's get to moving in some form of fashion. Let's start stretching those muscles when we get up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? If you sit down all day, let's get up and go walk to the bathroom, go walk to the weighted area, go and do a little walking so that you, can kind of loosen up those joints. I took the time to purchase one of those electrical stand-up desks. And so periodically I will stand and lift the desk up to my height, and then I'll sit back down. You know what I'm saying? And so just to kind of stretch my body out a little bit, because most of my therapy is teletherapy. And so my body can tighten up, especially with the aging. And so I try to get regular massages, and then just trying to be more active. So let's make sure that we are moving. You can be healthy, you can be small, your body can be fit, but what about your heart? Okay, so let's get a little exercise in there. I saw this cute, I was on Instagram, and I saw this cute page where they did, it was like a double Dutch page where it was for women over 40, and they have like this whole double Dutch movement, and you can like start your own double Dutch group in your area. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, this is so cute. And it was all women over 40. I was like, girl, y'all better get it. Like, I thought it was so cute because I used to love double dutching when I was a child. If you guys don't know what double dutch is, it is a jump rope where you get 2 ropes and it takes 2 people to turn the ropes. And you just, you got to have some good coordination skills. So, but it's so much fun. So definitely let's start being more active, you guys. Our heart depends on it. Our health depends on it. Our kids depend on it. Our loved ones, our mates depend on it. You know what I'm saying? So let's definitely work to be more active. Next, we have develop and cultivate leisure activities. And so that is definitely key for your body and your mind, right? Taking those regular vacations, going to a pottery class, a pole dancing class. You can go to a yoga class, a meditation class, getting out with your friends and your family, having those me moments, right? Like stepping outside of your roles, not a wife moment, not a mother moment, not a husband moment, but a me moment, leisure activities, and taking time to go do something where I could just be myself and live in my authenticity. Look, I might need to stand up right now. I've been sitting during this whole podcast, but my chair is not give it's anywho. So our activity level is very important to our physical body and our emotional health. Sometimes we need to go have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Step outside your box, go hiking, go walk a trail. You know what I'm saying? You and your loved one, go take your kids out and go for a walk, buy you a bike, right? And ride bikes with your children, go skating, go to the museum, but leisure activities, concerts is key because it gives us the opportunity to just be free and have a good time and enjoy ourselves. And that's a really good reset button. You know what I'm saying? So leisure activities is so important to your mental health. Because it just gives you the opportunity just to have a good time and not allow life to be so serious. You know what I'm saying? So even if you don't have friends, get out there and do stuff on your own so you can meet some friends, right? I see a lot of people struggling with meeting friends in their adulthood. And you're not going to meet them if you're not putting yourself out there or speaking to people. So go on Meetup, meetup.com. I mean, be mindful, do your research. But you can meet you some people at, go find a meetup that you're interested in. Meetups are a group of people that meet that have a same interest. You know what I'm saying? And so you can go and you can meet people on meetup.com. And it's, an opportunity for you to go and meet a group of people and y'all have similar interests and, have a good time, honey. Live life. Okay? Live it. I'm speaking to myself too. Live it, honey. So let's go out there and let's live life this summer. Okay? Our last goal for physical wellness. I mean, y'all, this is a topic we could talk about forever, but our last goal is seek medical care when needed for illness, injury, and preventative care. So I want to work backwards. Preventative care, get those physicals every year. I know that they changed the recommendations, but please still get your pap smears, get your breast exams, get your prostate check, get everything done yearly because I wait 2 years, honey, a lot can fester in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? A lot can happen in 2 years. And so make sure you're getting your physicals regularly. Go to the dentist, get your eyes checked, your dental care, your physical, your OBGYN. Let's get checked. Let's get that blood work done. And here's something I really want you guys to start doing because it's something that I'm going to do. When you go and get your physical done and they call you and say, everything looks good, don't just accept that. What I want now is I want you to talk to me about my results. I want you to let me know because even though you're saying something, everything's good, am I borderline for something? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you see any inflammation in my body? Like, give me a little bit more detail instead of everything's good. Because I really don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, explain some of this stuff. What, Tamika's, you know what? Your cholesterol look good. Your numbers are such and such. You should, you want to stay in the range of this. Like, educate me. And that's what I need primary care physicians to do more. Stop just giving us the basics. Educate us. Oh, and everything's good. We'll see you next year. Like, no, I need more than that. I need more than that. So start asking questions, y'all. So preventative care is getting all that done, y'all, is free. As far as your physical and your PAP. Fellas, your physical prostate exam. You know what I'm saying? Free. Get it, please. Stay on top of that preventative care. Be mindful of your drug and alcohol consumption. You know what I'm saying? Preventative care. Prevent things from happening. Be mindful of your relationship with food. Make changes. Preventative care. Take your medications. Stop. I ain't finna take this stuff. I ain't finna take these medications. Honey, look. Yes, most medications have side effects, but some medical illnesses require you to take this medication, like diabetes, like high blood pressure. A lot of people play with their blood pressure. But one thing I need y'all to understand, I want y'all to look around and see how many people having a stroke nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Strokes are tied to high blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? So how many, do you know anybody who has had a stroke recently? I mean, that's not the only thing that causes strokes. You know what I'm saying? But do the research. You know what I'm saying? Stay on top of it. Stop playing with your high blood pressure, because that high blood pressure can definitely cause strokes. And I mean, even in young people. You know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to really be mindful with that. Okay? Because here's the stats. So in 2020 in the United States, coronary heart disease was the leading cause of deaths attributed to cardiovascular disease in the United States. Okay? 41.2%. That was the leading cause of death when it comes to cardiovascular disease, followed by strokes. Strokes was the second, 17.3%. Followed by other cardiovascular diseases at 16.8%, high blood pressure 12.9%, heart failure 9.2%, diseases of the arteries 2.6%. This was updated January 25th, 2023, according to American Heart Association. Okay, so let's not play with our health. You know what I'm saying? Your kids need you. Your partner need you. You got a whole life and purpose to live. God don't make mistakes. You were not a mistake. So please take your medications. If you have any questions, talk to your doctor. Understand too that when you start taking a new medication, you're going to have some adverse reactions because your body have to work to get used to it, especially mental health medications. With mental health medications, it takes 4 to 6 weeks for your body to get used to it and for it to really get in your system. If you have side effects, don't just stop taking the medications and don't do nothing. Go make an appointment and go talk with your doctor about it. Maybe your doctor can change the milligram, add an adjunct medication, or change the medication totally. But don't not take it and then you end up having a stroke or a heart attack or, because you have not taken your blood pressure medication. Stop playing with your life. Stop playing with your health. Okay? Preventative is part of that is taking your medication. Okay? Injury, right? Seek help. So if you hurt yourself, it can be something small, and the next thing you know is something big. So check things out. Check out your body. Do an overlook of your body. Make sure you're not having any issues when it comes to skin cancer, any abnormal moles on your body. If it changed, it looks funny, it's, go let your doctor look at it. Stop minimizing stuff. Oh, it'll be all right. Oh, it ain't nothing. Stop asking your mama, because your mama is not a doctor. You know what I'm saying? So stop asking your friends, your partner. They're not doctors. Go to the doctor and get yourself checked. Okay? And so start seeking medical care. So stop being afraid to go to the hospital. Like, stop it. This is your life. Now, if you don't care about your life, that's a whole nother story. But if you care about your life, then please go to the doctor regularly. If you feel like something ain't right or something going on, contact your doctor. You can always call your doctor, leave a message. You can always call, ask to speak with your doctor's nurse, tell her what's going on, and she can advise you on what to do. It's too many hotlines out here, and you know what I'm saying? You can do the teledoc appointments. You know what I'm saying? You don't always have to go into the office. Actually, that's where the medical field is moving toward that. A lot of people don't like it. I don't myself. When it comes to medical, I need to be in your face. I need your hands on this body. Okay, I need that stethoscope checking his chest. You know what I'm saying? And so to each his own, but just go. Seek the medical care you need. Stop putting stuff off because, you just never know. You know what I'm saying? So stay on top of your health, y'all. Stay on top of your physical wellness. Today I have covered, 11 goals for physical wellness. I'm going to run through them real quick. Okay? Understand how and why your body works. Number 1. Number 2, feel comfortable with your physical appearance. Number 3, make informed choices about your body and sexuality. Number 4, feel competent at physical activities. Number 5, develop well-balanced and healthy eating habits. Number 6, become a responsible drinker or a non-drinker. Number 7, become aware of how a lack of sleep, stress, and non-activity affect your body. Number 8, become aware of how food, beverages, drugs, chemicals, additives, and caffeine affect your body. Number 9, engage in regular movement and to improve flexibility, strength, aerobic, and cardiovascular health. Number 10, develop and cultivate leisure activities. And number 11, seek medical care when needed for illness, injury, and preventative care. Okay? So you guys, I hope that this really helped. You guys, I hope and pray that this really helped. This is just episode number 1. We have 8 episodes in total. And so we definitely want, to stay on top of our health so that we can, stay on top of our health so that we can live a higher quality of life. All right? A higher quality of life. So if you need to go back, listen to this again, please share this episode with everybody you know. We got to get our village healthy too. You know what I'm saying? So share this with everybody that you know. Share it on your social media. Like, we got to get healthy, y'all. We have to get healthy. Okay? And it does not always mean deprivation. We can still enjoy some things just in moderation, and we got to educate ourselves. All right? So this is it. That's all. That's it. This is physical wellness. What are you going to do? What area are you, which goal are you going to tackle first? Let me know in the Q&A section. I would love to hear your comments about this episode and what you plan to do when it comes to your physical wellness. If you have not, please check out my, if you're in therapy, please check out my therapy companion workbooks. I have one, it's a workbook and journal. I have one for men and I have one for women. They are on Amazon. Please check out the show notes. And you can also go on Amazon and Google my name, or you could put the titles in. The book for women is called Consciously Choosing Me. And the book for men is Letting Go What No Longer Serves Me. Okay? And so you can definitely, check out my workbooks. I have other books coming soon, but let's stay on top of our health, you guys. Okay? Let's get old together. You know what I'm saying? Let's grow and get old and be healthy. Be fabulous, foxy, sexy, all of that. Okay? In your 50s and in your 60s. All right? Let's still be mobile. Let's still work on our brain health so that we're not dealing with dementia. You know what I'm saying? So we got work to do. We got work to do, and that's all of us, including me. I'm on a journey. Who's going to join me? Who's going to join me? But all right, you guys, I'm gone. Have a good one, and I will see you in our next episode where we're going to talk about emotional wellness. Hopefully I can make that just one episode, because y'all know I'm a therapist, so therefore this one is going to be key. So in our next episode, we'll be talking about emotional wellness. Until then, you guys, you have a fantastic week, and work to be intentional, but most importantly, work to be your authentic, true self. All right? I love you guys. Have a good one. Bye.